Well, let's get this party started. How about that? How's everybody doing this evening? We're in the house. Don't mind this over here. You do not see this. It's a figment of your imagination. We are going to go through, let me see how many minutes I get. Oh, okay, good. We're going to go through, first of all these seed books you get. It's time for you to go on ahead and get your seeds. Get your seeds. And I have a burpees catalog here. This is seeds and such. Right here, seeds and such. This catalog here is Baker's Creek, which is one of my favorite because it's heirloom. Heirloom, heirloom seeds, which means original seeds. And it's been passed down from generation to generation. John seeds and plants. Now let me tell you why I like this one real quickly. I like this one because this is Baker Creek. Whatever you plant and grow, when you want to get seeds from it, it will duplicate exactly that. Anything that is a GMO, which one is it? I think it was burpees, was full of, I'll put those down right here, hybrid seeds, which means if you take the seed from the plant after you're finished with the harvesting, you don't know what you're going to get. You don't have an idea what you're going to get when you grow it. So there's a lot of hybrid in here in this book. Slim pickings. I don't know where they're going with this, but it looks like they don't want you to be able to grow your own and get what you normally would expect to get. The same thing with John seeds, plants. Seems like they it's just a lot of hybrid seeds. So start now if you haven't started already. Looking and searching for heirloom seeds. Something that's original, something that is not GMO, that's not hybrid, and going ahead and order those. Seeds and such, I haven't had a chance to look through this one, but I'm praying that I won't find the same thing here. There was one other catalog. Hold on. You know somebody done stole it. They got it downstairs with them. We fight for catalogs around here. Anyway, my primary reason is to show you here for being here, to show you that. Show you what you need to start with. If you don't get your seeds started now, this is for spring and summer. But you need to go on ahead and invest in some kind of kit. Now, this is the Pro Hex kit. It's 72. A lot of you guys probably aren't interested in doing 72 seeds or 72 plants. I like the Pro Hex because of the depth of each one of the cells. See how deep that is? And it's all one piece. And you can always cut this up into maybe 3 or 6. You may not want to use the whole thing, but they do have seed starter kits that has only 6 and has only 9, 12, 36, whatever is your fancy. But I ended up buying duplicates of this. Coming with this is your tray. It doesn't have the holes in it, so this is your watering tray, your catch tray. You have your dome. So when you finish putting all of your seeds, not seeds, but your seed starting mix, whatever you're using in here, when you finish putting it in here, you take it and make sure that you have it sitting inside of your tray. Have it in your tray already. I would water from the bottom. I would water with as hot water, much hot water as I possibly can, as hot a water as I possibly can. I would, some people say boil the water, but I don't know how this tray will hold up to that because you have to cool it down because you want to kill any pathogens. That's why and bugs, that's why I start off and I use, y'all know me, Jiffy seed starting kit mix. I haven't had any problems with this. The seeds germinate very well in here and grow very well in here. So growing on the inside, do not get dirt out your yard. Do not get something out your yard in a grow bag or whatever, soil, and put it in here and bring it in your house. You asking for trouble. You haven't seen trouble, and I don't want you to quit gardening because of that. So just do it right the first time. This I have not had problems with, but you can do however you want. You don't have to use Jiffy. You can use Burpees. You can use somebody else, but make sure it's a seed starter mix. I'm just recommending that. When you put your seed starter mix in here in your sales, if you try to have it where it's gonna be. Well, if you put your seed starter mix in here, make sure you put a long piece of foil underneath it, because the dirt, the soil is gonna go places. And I hope eventually you would just sit it, or it's going to be sitting on a heat mat, and you don't want that soil on the heat mat. So take a brown paper bag, go to the grocery store, at the end cap of the cashier's window where she is. You just ask her for one of those big old fashioned brown paper bag, and sit it on top of that, so you can feel free to put your soil in here. Then after you put your soil in there, you just tap it down. You need to tap it down. Do not put your seed. This is my recommendation. Do not put your seed on some dry soil, because when you wet it, if it's sitting in there, that seed's going to drop down to here and take a long time to germinate, if it germinates at all. Moisten your soil first. Put the soil in, and then put some water in the tray. You can just lift it a little bit on the corner, pour it in there, get a pot or something and pour it in there. Hot water. And it will wick it up, because these cells have holes in it. You have to have drainage holes. The cells have holes in them. It's going to take a minute to wick up. And once it starts wicking up, you'll see it, because it's going to turn dark. Then once that happens, I will go on ahead and put a little bit more soil on top of that, because the soil volume is going to drop down. Put some more soil on top of there. Put your seed, then you can go, it's going to continue to wick up. If you have something like a spray bottle like this, you can spray it. You can spray the top. It's okay to spray the top. Just don't dump some water on there. Then you take your seeds and start putting your seeds in the trays. Now, like I said, you don't have to have 72. I do 72. I do 2 of these, so it's 144. Once you put your seeds in the tray on top of the soil, sprinkle some more, about this much soil on top, maybe half of that on top. And then you will spray it again. If it looks like the seed is still visible, you want to put a little bit more soil on there. You ain't trying to bury it ashes to ashes, dust to dust. You just want to put some soil on there. And when you get through, when you finish, you're going to sit it on top of your heat mat. It's a heat mat. I have 4 of these. You're going to sit it on top of the heat mat like that. Make sure it's where everything is in contact with the heat mat. Now, I do mine at my fireplace, so I'm going to fix it where you can see it. This is the heat mat up under here. And then you go on ahead, plug your heat mat up, and you're going to, first of all, when you finish with that, you're going to put the dome on top. The dome doesn't fit down snug. It just fit on top. That's all, to hold in the moisturizer and the moisture and the humidity. And it's going to make its own water. But if it looks like something, the soil is turning brown for some reason, that means that, like a light brown, it means it's drying out. You don't want that. So if it looks like it's drying out, you just open it up and you take your little mystery little spray gun and you spray it. You don't drown it, and you put the top back on. Once you see the first green, everything is not going to come up at one time. The first sign of something green coming up through here, you take this dome off. You're going to take the dome off. You can hold on to it because it may come in handy for something else. I use mine for different reasons. We'll talk about that later. And put that away. Now it's time for your heat lamp. This is the heat lamp that I use. Let me show it to you. It's a lamp. It's a clamp. Just like this. And I clamp it onto here. Let's see if I can turn this way. You can see it. See, there you go. Onto the pipe. And I talked to you about what it's doing now. And then I let it go down. Hang it down. Oh, here it goes, acting crazy. Hang it down. Let's see if I can get you where you can see it. There it is. Where it's on, it'll be right here on the veggies. Now it will be closer. I need to move some of these things out the way. It'll be closer. And this is a very inexpensive way to do it. Center it. I'm going to bring it back up some. The problem I have with these clamps, though, is that this right here always falls down. I have to fix it. And I usually have at least 3 or 4 because I have 2 of these trays. And I have one on this side, right here, and then one over here. Let's see if you can, one right here. So it's like 1, 2, 3. What is in there is play sand. You go to your big box store and get you some play sand. Okay, this is a juice bottle. We talked about the juice bottle in my other video. You pour the play sand inside of the juice bottle. You're going to clean it out first. And you fill it up. You're going to take a PVC pipe, and I do believe that these are, let me see here. I think this is a 3/4 inch. Yeah, this is a 3/4 inch PVC pipe. They would cut it for you at the big box store, 3/4 inch. They'll cut it in half for you. You don't need anything really tall. I don't know. This is about, let me see. Let me stand up. It's about 2.5, about 3 feet. Because as your plants grow up, you're going to move this light up. But when they first start coming up, you want to bring this down as low as you can. See me? See, it's on top of there. As low as you can. Now, it won't be that low because it's going to have to bend a little bit. But anyhow, I can't get it to bend because it's acting crazy. But anyway, you want it as low as you can. And you want that heat on there. Now, what kind of bulb, Miss Gail? I use a 200 watt. That's because the lumens are about anywhere from 3,700 to almost 4,000. You want lumens because of the brightness to imitate the sun. You want about 2,700 kelvins, Kelvins, which will illuminate, I guess, talks about the brightness as well. But you want a high lumen because you're imitating the sun. Now, if I had only half of this, like 36, I would just really need one light. I would just really need one light. But because I have, I'm going to do more than that, then I would need more than that. I like to put a lot of light on mine. You also need to have one of these right here, these little plates, so you can plug in different things. You're gonna have to plug in your heat mat, this light right here, and if you're doing 2 other lights, you're gonna need two more for 2 other lights. There's 3, and you're gonna need to do a timer that you would set for it to come on in the morning, go off in the evening. I usually run mine about 10 hours, have it coming on about 10 in the morning, and go off about 8 in the evening. Sometimes I do 10. But you want to get, the timers are not expensive. We'll walk through Home Depot or Lowe's somebody tomorrow. Anyway, you're going to need a timer that would do, day and night timing. And so basically that's it. That's what you're going to need. Now, I'm using this juice bottle right now because I used it last year. I was using so many of these tea bottles, these tea containers from my store. But these work better. Now, when I talked about doing winter sowing and using milk jugs if it was not opaque, meaning that if it was not solid white. Like this right here is opaque. You don't want that. You want something that's clear outside. Inside, you can use an opaque bottle, milk jug. Fill it up with sand. I will use a funnel so that you can push it through because it's kind of hard to do. And fill it up with sand all the way up to here for stability. These work better than the juice. But use what you can at first. I don't want you to go broke. But anyway, I don't want this video to be too long. Hold on for a second. Another thing I wanted to show you is that you can use these paper cups, bathroom cups, as long as it doesn't have wax on it. And you can just take a pencil and punch a hole, just one hole, because they're so small. You can just punch a hole in the back like that. I used to do 2 or 3 at a time. Hole in the bottom. And put some soil in here, and you can take these little babies and put them in a container like this, however big of a container you want. And set them in here. You know, you fill it up with soil, set it in there, and put your seed in there. Now you're going to water from the bottom as well. Don't water from the top. Put your seed in, sprinkle some more soil on top. Bada bing, bada boom, spread, spread, spread. And you probably can do about 18 of those small ones. But as soon as it starts growing up, you need to be ready to put it in the ground. You can put this whole thing in the ground because it's paper, or transfer it into one of these cups. Styrofoam. This is a big styrofoam. I don't have the 8 ounce. I couldn't find it. But once again, you want to put about 3 holes in here. I just take a pencil, go through. I usually line about 4 or 5 of them up, but I'm not trying to use up my styrofoam. It's a precious commodity. Push up. It's just a pencil, a knife, or a pair of scissors, or what have you. Push it in. I just did 3 holes, 4 holes. Went all the way through. See that? You just line them up and do that. Put your soil in there. Now you can take those over there and transfer in here. Of course, you have to put some more soil in there. Or you can take these that you're doing in the tray and transfer them in here. And these can go in either something like this. You're going to need more. The bigger they are, the less space you're going to have. Go in something like this or something bigger. Sit it on top of the heat mat still, because it's going to need the heat. Put the water in the bottom, let it feed up from the bottom. Once your plant gets about 4 true leaves, you can give it a very, very mild liquid fertilizer. I mean mild. And boy, this here over here was like a jungle. I had bell peppers, tomatoes, you name it, squash, zucchini, beans, everything growing up through here was all over in here, all out on the floor. It was a mess. So I got started too early. So that's left up to you. But that's just another way that you can do it. So many options that you have. My way is not the only way. Other people have different ways, but I'm showing what works for me. This right here, like I said, cut it up into different pieces. You can just section it off. Say, I just get, I don't want to do all that, fine. But you're going to have to find a dome to go over it. You're going to have to make a dome or whatever, because it has to have that covering on it in order to germinate the seed. And like I said, you will put over here, you place something back here and here if you do this whole thing. So, okay, everybody, it's going on 19 minutes. I just want to ask you to please subscribe, share, comment, send someone else my way. I love you all. I appreciate you, and I hope this has helped. We'll be back tomorrow. I'll let you know where I got all these things from in the store. They're not really that expensive. Take care, and each and every one of you continue to have a blessed day. I was going to show you. You have to take this up and angle it down. You angle it down so it can go down on top of there like that. See? And as soon as that green pop up and hit that, bam, it keeps it from getting leggy. You don't want leggy. But if you have leggy, I can show you how to deal with that too. So legginess is something that I'm familiar with. It's not a problem. A lot of people throw their plants away because they become leggy, but we'll deal with that too. All you're going to do is just put in some deeper soil and let just the green pop out and it strengthen up and to grow up. So I don't want you to fret. I don't want you to not sow anything in the ground, in a cup, in a bag. I want you to have your own food. Okay, everybody? So if you have any questions, concerns, go out and get this material so we can continue to grow together. I will grow with you. I want you to grow with me, okay? Go on out and get the material. Start getting there. If you don't have all the money, get a couple of things per paycheck. But this is not going to cost you a lot. I didn't add up how much it was supposed to cost because I went to the doctor. He gave me a shot at my foot. I wasn't too happy. So I'm sitting here kind of pouting right now. Y'all take care. God bless you, and I'll see you at the next video. Bye.